Hey there, this is the week 1 of 12 weeks strengthening for the posture using yoga and lots of other strength training things that I've picked up along the way that I think are really great for this type of thing. You'll want to have a couple blocks, a yoga mat, and cut off, stimuli, turn off notifications, turn off your dingers, just be in the moment. It's going to be 1 hour starting now. Okay, so let's go ahead and lay down on your back. Good. Close your eyes and soften your face. Soften your neck and shoulders, your back and belly, pelvis, thighs, legs, feet, arms, hands, surrendering to gravity. Let's go ahead and bring all of our focus now to our big toes. Bringing all of your awareness into your big toes. If you can't sense your big toes, try to differentiate your big toes from the other parts of your body. Or try to sense the space where the big toes would be. Good. Now let's sense all of the other toes. Sensing now the balls of our feet. And the arches. And our heels. Sensing next the tops of our feet. And our ankles. Sensing our ankles, our feet, tops and bottoms, heels, arches, balls, and all of the toes, all at the same time. Sensing your whole foot and your ankles. Good. Sensing next our Achilles tendons. From the back of the heels, running up the back of our foot. That's the Achilles tendon. The Achilles tendon slowly becomes the lower calf muscle, sensing the lower calf muscle. And then the upper calf muscle. And the back of our knees. Good. Sense the front of your lower legs from the lowest part of the shin bone, slowly moving upwards to just below the kneecap. Good. Go ahead and sense the front of the lower leg, the back of the lower legs, the calves, the back of the knee, the Achilles tendons, the ankles, feet, and all of the toes, all at the same time. as if our lives depended on it, sensing those lower legs. Good. Let's sense the kneecaps. And moving upwards into the front of the thigh. Sensing the belly of the muscles in the front of the thigh, all the way to that front hip bone. Follow it up all the way, sensing the front of our thighs. Sensing now the inner thighs. And the outer thighs. And the back of the thighs. Sensing from the back of the knee, deep to the bones in your bum, the back of the thighs. Sensing now deep to the thigh bone. Try to sense that thigh bone. It's called the femur. Sensing the thighs, the knees, the lower legs, ankles, feet, and toes, all at the same time. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and sense those two front hip bones. One on each side. I like to call them the hip headlights. And then the inside of the pelvis. Specifying into the pubic bone. Sense the pubic bone. And the glutes. Sensing the glutes, the bum muscles. Good. Sensing the hips, the inside of the pelvis, the glutes, the thighs, knees, lower legs, ankles, feet, and toes, all at the same time. Sensing your whole lower body as if your life depended on it. Good. All right. I'm going to lay down now to join you guys. So we can start to do our breathing, breath work. I'm just going to make sure I've got my block within arm's reach. All right. So we've just started to get our brain ready. Now let's get our breath. Arguably, we were already doing that. All right. Let's slow our breath down. Inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep that count going in your head. And then let's turn the inhale into the exhale and the exhale into the inhale. So it's one seamless action. Keep that count going in your head as if your life depended on it. Feel that cool air enter your nostrils to the back of the mouth, runs down the windpipe. As you exhale, warm air runs up the windpipe to the back of the mouth and out the mouth or nose. Feel the breath going deeper into the chest cavity, breathing against the spine and the shoulder blades, the upper rib walls, the chest bone, collarbones. Breathing deeper into the lobes of the lungs and the whole rib cage. Still the spine, still the shoulder blades. Cool air enters the nostrils to the back of the mouth, runs down the windpipe, into the chest and shoulders, the lungs and the ribs, and now into the belly. As we exhale, the belly eases, lungs, ribs, chest, shoulders all relax. Warm air runs up the windpipe to the back of the mouth and out the nostrils. One seamless action. One of the people that comes to my Sunday yin yoga class, she calls this the Infinity Five. I love that. I'll always give her the credit for it. Such a great way of describing because it's continuous. Throughout our strength training session, you might not always have time to keep the count, but keep the breathing going. It might not always even be that deep, but we're keeping it going. Approximately to the count of 5 as we inhale, approximately to the count of 5 as we exhale, continuously. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and push our low back into the floor, bring our feet onto the mat below the hips, then the knees to the chest, chin to the chest, starting to rock in some circles. Good, massaging that low back into the floor. Very nice. All right, good. Let's bring our feet back down to the mat below the hips, our hands by the sides, palms down, back of the neck is long. Good. All right, for many of us, this is waking up somebody we haven't known in a while, our abdominals. So let's go ahead and pull that pubic bone and base the ribs towards each other. Those are the two bony landmarks of the rectus abdominis muscle. Flexing the stomach with everything you have, continuing to breathe, continuing to bring the pubic bone and base the ribs towards each other, flexing the stomach. Tuck that tailbone forward and up, base the ribs, pubic bone, tucking that tailbone. Good. Keep those areas strong and engaged, flexing the stomach wall. Good. Lift up our head, tuck that chin into the throat from the muscle underneath of the cartilage there. Retract our shoulder blades. Keep flexing that stomach wall, base the ribs, pubic bone, flexing the stomach, tuck that tailbone, chin into the throat, retracting the shoulder blades. Good. Keep flexing the stomach, base the ribs, pubic bone, flex the stomach, tuck the tailbone, chin into the throat, retracting those shoulder blades inwards and down your back, and slowly start to lower down. Good. All right, hands come back to our sides. Let's push our hips into the air. Now our feet need to be about hip width apart. The knees need to stay hip width apart, so not splaying or collapsing in, hip width apart. The function of the glute muscle, one of them is to extend the thigh bone, the femur bones back. So we're pushing those knees down into our heels, heels into our floor, while we're squeezing our bums. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze those bums, push those knees into the floor, flexing your bums, your hips come higher as you flex harder and you push your knees down further. And then slowly, let's start to peel that spine back down onto the floor. Knees to the chest, chin to the chest. Give yourself a great big hug. Good. All right, let's bring our feet back down to the mat, below the hips. Hands by our sides, palms down, back of the neck is long. Good, feet hip width apart, knees hip width apart. Let's push that low back into the floor. Pubic bone, base ribs towards each other. Flex that stomach. Flex it, flex it, flex it. Tuck that tailbone forward and up. Flexing that stomach, pull the base of the ribs down. Pubic bone coming up, flex the stomach. Tuck the tailbone. Good. All right, let's lift up our head, chin into the throat by way of the muscle under our cartilage. Retract those shoulder blades in and down. Base of the ribs, pubic bone, flex the stomach. Tuck that tailbone forward and up. Retract those shoulder blades. Chin into the throat, breathing. Base of the ribs, pubic bone, flex that stomach. Flex, flex, flex. Tuck that tailbone. Retract those shoulder blades in and down. Chin into the throat. And slowly starting to lower ourselves down in a controlled way. Good. Hands come back down by our sides, palms down. Let's lift those hips up. Good. All right, flex the bum, squeeze the bum cheeks, push those knees into the floor. Push the knees into the heels, heels into the floor as we squeeze our bums. Our hips come higher up because we're pushing our knees down and we're squeezing our bum. So we're actually using the muscle in the way it's meant to be used. Good, keep going, flex, flex, flex. Push those hips up, push those knees down, and then slowly we'll start to peel ourselves back down. Good. Keep that low back into the floor, knees to chest, chin to chest. Give yourself a great big hug. Good work. We're waking some things up. All right. Good. All right. Feet come back down to the mat below the hips. Let's widen our hands, palms up. Walk our feet to the edges of the mat. Knees come in together. Hammock pose. As we exhale, draw those knees to the right, the head to the left. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, the knees to the left, head to the right. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, the knees to the right, head to the left. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, the knees to the left, head to the right. Inhale, coming back up. Good. Let's walk those feet towards each other, coming into our butterfly. Let's go ahead and bring ourselves into cactus arms. Okay? If you've ever dislocated a shoulder, you need to be very careful with cactus arms. But if you haven't, just as always, sensation is good, pain is not good. See if you can surrender those arms so that they're just, if they're floating in the air, they're floating in the air. With time, you might feel them lower just a little bit. Breathing steady. breathing in through the nostrils, down the windpipe, into the chest, shoulders, back, lungs, ribs, back, spine, shoulder blades, into the belly. As we exhale, the belly eases, lungs, ribs, chest, shoulders all relax. Warm air runs up the windpipe to the back of the mouth and out our nostrils. All right, bringing those knees back up to center. Push that low back into the floor. Give ourselves a great big hug. Rocking in circles. All right, good. Let's go ahead and lengthen the feet to the bottoms of the mat. Roll onto your right side. I like to put a block under my head for this. All right. I bring my left hand to the floor in front, right hand reaching out, palms down. Okay. I want you to think about your abdominal wall from the base of the ribs to the pubic bone, but also we've got abs over here, which we're trying to strengthen and waking them up. Okay. So we are going to engage our abdominal wall, find it, engage it, base of the ribs, pubic bone, everything in between. Good. Then let's go ahead and lift up our feet and knees up off the floor. I want you to feel like the side abs are working to hold these guys up. Awesome. We're using these guys. We're still flexing these guys. Using these guys. Good. Lower. Gently and slow. Good. Bring it up again. All right. Make sure you're using your front abs and your side abs. Front abs, side abs. Keep doing that. Checking in. We want to make sure we're using the right muscles, not just putting ourselves into positions. Okay, good. And lower. And again. Feet and knees, come on up. Side abs, tummy. That's all working great. And slowly lowering down. Good. You're probably feeling other muscles working too, but these are the main ones I want to target. You're probably getting some in here. That's fine. Just make sure that these guys are going. All right, let's switch to the other side. You can roll to the other side, or you can do what I got to do is flip to the other end of the mat. Okay, so let's go ahead. Right hand goes on the floor in front. Left hand palms down. Good. All right, we're in between two panes of glass. All right, engage the abdominal wall. Flexing our stomachs. Good. All right, let's bring our feet and knees up. Okay, with this right hand, if you need to check and make sure, go for it. Front abs, side abs, front abs, side abs. Yeah, it's working. They're engaged. Okay, and lower down. Okay, bring them up again. Front abs, side abs. Keep flexing your front abs. Keep flexing your side abs. Make sure we're using those. And lower down. And again, bringing our hips up, front of the abdominal wall, side abs, front wall. Good. And lowering back down. Good. We're waking up some muscles in preparation for bigger things, I tell you. All right, let's go ahead and use muscles to help bring us up into seated. We're not using momentum. And let's go ahead, find ourselves in our seats, and we're going to sit up on a block. That block will help us not use our hip flexors. Okay, those hip flexors, they want to tense up any chance they get. All right, let's go ahead, bring that head up nice and long, shoulders slightly retracted. Let's go ahead and get that right shoulder going in some circles. and then that left shoulder, and then both shoulders. I call this a shoulder shimmy in circles, whatever you want to call it. It feels sure good, blows out a lot of cobwebs in our fascial system, our fabric that holds us together, myofascia. All right, let's come back to seated. Good. Keep that spine nice and long, engaging enough of the abdominals that you feel yourself protecting your low back and not necessarily using your hip flexors. Good. All right, this is going to be for the upper back and rotator cuff, which is great because our bodies are very internally rotated. So this is going to help strengthen the muscles that open us up, okay? All right, we're going to grab a bar. As we exhale, pulling those shoulder blades inwards and down our backs. Keep those abs strong, engage those shoulder blade muscles. Once you feel like you've got it, pop open the hands. Good. All right, super glued elbows to the sides. Back of the neck stays long, abs engaged. Inhale, open the hands. You're gonna feel this on the back of your shoulder sockets and in between the shoulder blades if we're engaging the muscles. Exhale, closing it up. Inhale, put the bar back. Exhale, pull the bar in, shoulder blades retract in and down, back of the neck long, abs slightly engaged, pop open the hands. Inhale, open the doors. Shoulder blade muscles, back of the shoulder socket muscles. Sensation is good, pain is bad. Stop if there's any pain. Exhale, close it up. Inhale, put the bar back. Exhale, retract those shoulder blades inwards and down. Abs engaged, back of the neck is long, chin slightly tucked. Pop open the hands. Inhale, open. Back of the shoulder blades. In between the shoulder blades, lots of strength going. Good. Exhale, close it up. Inhale, put the bar back. We got one more to go. Exhale, pull those shoulder blades inwards and down, retracting those muscles. Back of the neck is long, chin slightly tucked, retracting those shoulder blades. Pop open the hands. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, closing. Inhale, put that bar back. And let's relax. Shoulder shimmies in some circles. Good. All right, loosen it all up. Good. All right, let's find our table pose. So we're just gonna come back onto our hands and knees here. Our knees are hip width apart, stacked right below our hips. Our hands shoulder width apart, stacked below our shoulders. And we can lower our bodies down into it just enough so that we've got this nice flat back here, right? Elbows, nice big bends in those elbows. Back of the neck is long. Abs slightly engaged so we're not collapsing. Good. Let's turn our heads to the right and to the left. And to the right and to the left. Once more to the right. Once more to the left. Good. Come on back to center. Inhale to press the spine, chin and tailbone come up. Exhale, lead with that tailbone, backbone by backbone, arching the spine. Oh, that feels good. Opening up all those backbones, especially in that low back. Inhale to press the spine. Exhale, lead with that tailbone, backbone by backbone, arching the spine. Open up those backbones. Inhale to press. We are still opening up the backbones, but from the other angle. Now let's tuck that tailbone, open them up from the backside again. Hold that as long as you want. Oh, it feels so good. All right, come on back to our tables. All right, reset the tables. Knees hip width apart, hands shoulder width apart. Make sure everything's where it needs to be. Good. Now I want you to secure the left head in its place. Nice big bend in that left elbow because we're using muscles, not stacking or locking any joints, okay? Let's reach that right hand forward. Once you've got it up there, keep those abs engaged. Okay, base of the ribs, pubic bone, flexing the stomach. Right shoulder blade muscles, pulling that shoulder blade inwards and down the back. Good, back of the neck is long. Good, breathing steady. Let's draw that right hand over to the right side of the room. Good, feel those right shoulder blade muscles, retracting that shoulder blade towards the spine. Good, draw it down by the hips, palm facing down. Good, pull that shoulder blade inwards and down, abs still engaged. Good, let's draw it all the way to the front, pull that shoulder blade down your back and lower it to the floor. Lower the hand to the floor, sorry. Okay, all right. We've got a nice big grip in that right hand, nice big bend in that right elbow. We're not locking that elbow joint. Let's reach that left hand forward. Pull the shoulder blade down the back. Engage the abdominals. Back of the neck is long, chin slightly tucked. We're breathing. We're pulling that shoulder blade down our back and in. All right, good. Let's go ahead, draw that left hand to the left side of the room. You're feeling those left shoulder blade muscles. Pull that shoulder blade to the spine. Back of the neck long, abs engaged. Good. And then by our hips, palm facing down. Pull that shoulder blade in and down, abs, back of the neck long, chin tucked, breathing. Let's draw that left hand right to the top again, pull the shoulder blade down the back, and then lower the hand. Good. All right, let's reset the front, make sure it's in good position there. All right, nice bends in those elbows, abs engaged enough. All right, let's extend that right leg back. Okay, think about the right glute. Okay, those hips need to be stacked equal heights, so we're not taking a leak on a fire hydrant. We are extending that leg back. We are using the right glute muscles to hold up that femur bone, that right knee. Okay, that right glute is working really hard. Engage your abdominal wall to protect your low back. We're not collapsing in. Good. Keep going. Lift that knee a little higher. Keep those abs flexed. That right glute is flexed. Breathing steady. Back of the neck is long, chin slightly tucked, and lower. Okay, good. Let's go for the left glute. Okay, so let's make sure we're all stanced, ready to go. Let's extend that left leg back. Okay, hips equal heights, abdominal wall engaged, base of the ribs, pubic bone, flexing our stomach wall. That left glute flexing and holding that left knee up. Good. That left glute is working really hard. It's holding up that left knee, back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked, breathing, abdominals engaged. Breathing and lower. Good. Excellent. Okay. All right, let's tuck our toes under. Lift those knees up, downward dog. All right, we're pushing our hips to the back of the room. From our hands, relaxing your head. Relax the back of the legs. Breathing. Good. All right, let's go ahead and walk ourselves into our standing forward fold. I'm just going to step a little bit further back so that none of my body gets cut off. All right, we're in our standing forward fold. Use all the parts of our feet. Hanging over here. Breathing. Relaxing. Good. We want to make sure our feet are hip width apart for this next part. We're going to make a nice macro bend in those knees. Good. All right, let's find our chair pose. Okay, back of the neck is long, chin slightly tucked. Engage your abdominal wall. Your pubic bone, base of ribs, flexing the stomach. Retract those shoulder blades. Engage your thigh muscles. So we're using those thighs. Chin into the throat, breathing. Flexing the stomach. Good. And folding forward. right, let's go ahead and walk ourselves back to our downward dog. And down to our tables. And down to our bellies with cactus arms. Foreheads to the floor. Okay? So cactus arms are 90-degree angles. Right angles. Back to grade 9 geometry. Forehead to the floor. Good. Retract those shoulder blades and pull them down your back, flexing the back muscles. And relax. Good. Retract those shoulder blades, pull them down your back. Holding it there, breathing. And relax. Good. Retract the shoulder blades, pull them down your back, push into your hands, coming into your cobra. This is an upper back strengthener, constantly working towards retracting those shoulder blades into the spine, down the back, chin into the throat, breathing. Good. Slowly lowering ourselves down in a controlled way. Forehead comes back to the floor. Let's put our hands underneath of our shoulders. Okay? Engage your abdominal wall. We're going to come back up into table, but we are not collapsing our low backs. We're pushing from our chest and our abs. Come on back to table. Good. All right, widen those knees, toes together, child's pose. Try to relax the body, breathing steady. Let's walk our hands and body off to the left side of the mat. Good. Come on back to the center. And then over to the right. Just checking the time, keep myself on track. All right, good. You're well over halfway. Good. Come on back to the center. All right, come on back up to table. Okay, let's make sure those knees hip width apart. There we go. Hands shoulder width apart. Good, nice bends in those elbows. And our body is lowered into the shoulders enough, so we've got this nice flat back. Back of the neck is long. Let's turn our heads to the right and to the left. And to the right, to the left. Once more to the right. Once more to the left. Good. Come on back to center. Inhale to press the spine. Chin and tailbone come up. Exhale, lead with that tailbone, backbone by backbone, arching the spine. Oh, that feels so good. Inhale to press. Exhale, lead with the tailbone, backbone by backbone, arching that spine. Inhale to press. Exhale one more time, arching that spine. All right, come on back to your flat back here. Let's reset that table. Got lots of strength in that left hand. Nice big bend in that left elbow. Good. Let's reach that right hand to the front of the room. Keep our poses in integrity. Engage our abdominal walls. Pubic bone, base of the ribs, flexing the stomach, chin into the throat. Good. Right shoulder blade muscles, pulling that shoulder blade down the back and in towards the spine. Breathing steady. Checking the abs. Let's draw that right hand over to the right side of the room, using those right shoulder blade muscles to hold it up there. Probably the back of the shoulder socket too. Our abs are engaged. Our chin is slightly tucked. Let's draw that right hand right by our hips, palm facing down. Pull that shoulder blade in and down, in and down. Abs engaged. Back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked. Breathing. Good. Draw that right hand right to the front again and lower. Good. All right, let's get that right hand in its place, nice and secure. Nice big bend in that right elbow, so we're using muscles, not locking joints. Good. Let's reach that left hand to the front of the room. Back of the neck is long, abdominals engaged, left shoulder blade muscles, pulling that shoulder blade in and down. Abs, back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked, breathing. Let's draw that left hand to the left side of the room, using those left shoulder blade muscles, the back of the left shoulder socket to hold it up. Our abs, back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked, breathing. Good. And draw that left hand by your hips, palm facing down. Pull that shoulder blade in and down, in and down. Abs engaged, base of the ribs, pubic bone, flexing that abdominal wall. Chin slightly tucked, breathing. Good. Let's draw that left hand right to the front of the room again. Good. Those shoulder blade muscles pulling in and down. Abs engaged, back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked, and lower. Whoo-wee. Good. All right, let's reset our table. Make sure it's exactly as we want it. Nice bends in those elbows. Good, we're not collapsing. Our abs are engaged. Let's draw that right leg back. Good. Let's check. Hips are equal heights. We are using that right glute to hold up that right knee. In fact, we're trying to lift up that right knee higher, but from the glute. Engaging your abdominal wall. Base the ribs, pubic bone, flexing the stomach. Back of the neck is long, chin slightly tucked. Breathing. Using that right glute. Right glute. Abs. Back of the neck long. Breathing. Good. Almost there. Keep trying to lift that knee up from the right glute. And lower. Good. All right. Whoo-wee. It's breaking a sweat over here. All right. Right hand secure. Nice big bend in that right elbow. Let's extend that left leg back. Good. Hips, same height. Good. Holding that left knee up from that left glute. Flex that left glute. Try to lift that left knee up a little higher. Engage the abdominal walls. Back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked. Breathing. Left glute. Abdominal wall. Chin into the throat. Breathing. Good. Keep going just a little longer. Flex that left glute. Try to lift that left knee higher. Abs engaged. Back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked. Good. And lowering back down. Great. All right. Let's tuck those toes under. Lift those knees up. Downward dog. Good. Pushing those hips to the back of the room. I like to put the weight into my knuckles and fingers. It just feels better for me. You can use your whole hand. I would avoid collapsing onto the wrists. The back of the legs are relaxed. Your head is relaxed. Good. Let's walk ourselves into our standing forward fold. Good. Hanging in there. Relax the back of the legs. Relax the spine. Relax your face. Good, let's bend those knees. Nice big macro bend. We're gonna find our chair pose. All right, it's not enough just to get in the pose. We gotta make sure we're using the right muscles. Base of the ribs, pubic bone, flexing the stomach. Retract those shoulder blades in and down. Chin into the throat. Use lots of thigh strength here. Your thighs are feeling like they're getting their workout. Our abs, shoulder blade muscles, chin into the throat. Keep pulling that base of the ribs down. Flex that stomach wall. Flex, flex, flex. Flex, flex. This makes lots of heat. All right, folding back forward. All right, let's walk ourselves back out to our downward dog. And back to table. All the way down to our bellies. With cactus arms, 90-degree angles. Okay. Good, retract those shoulder blades in and down. Lots of strength in the upper back. And relax. Retract those shoulder blades in and down your back. Lots of strength. And relax. Retract your shoulder blades in and down. Hold that strength. Push into your hands, come into your cobra. It's an upper back strengthener. Keep pulling those shoulders down your back. Chin into the throat, and we're breathing. Keep retracting those shoulder blades, and let's slowly lower ourselves back down. Good. Good. All right, using only 20% of the strength here, push your right hand and right elbow into the floor and make it come from your right pec muscle. Feel that? Good. Now relax. That left hand and left elbow pushing in to the floor from that left pec. You feel that? Good. Those are the pecs. Bring our hands under the shoulders. Engage the abdominal wall, base of the ribs, pubic bone. Let's retract the shoulder blades in and down. Push from the pecs and abs coming into our tables. Good. Widen those knees, toes together, child's pose. Settle in. Good, let's walk our hands and body off to the left. Walking the hands and body back to the center. And over to the right. Good. Let's walk our hands and body back to the center. right, good. Let's come on back up to table. Check my time. All right. I'm trying to keep it at 1 hour, so perfect. Okay, so we're back to table. Let's come on to our seats. This time without the block. Good. All right, legs out in front. Try to have the nicest, longest spine possible. I know it's not easy. Abs engaged, back of the neck is long, decompress that spine. Let's bring our hands up, retract those shoulder blades. Good. Point the toes towards the nose. Okay, check on, make sure we've got our abs engaged. Abs, abs, abs. We're gonna use our abs to start to lean back. Good, keep those shoulder blades retracted. Now, we don't want to go so far that we start jutting our head forward. Okay, so only go as far as you can go where you can maintain the muscles that we've just engaged. Abs engaged, base of the ribs, pubic bone, flexing that stomach, retracting the shoulder blades. Back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked. Okay, almost there, breathing. Good, come on back up. All right, let's lower onto our backs. Okay, push that low back into the floor, knees to our chest, chin to our chest. Rocking in circles. Okay, good. Let's bring our feet back down to the mat below the hips. Grab our block. Okay, good. Let's lift up our hips, slide it underneath there. We're taking a supported bridge. We want that block. We have to find that sweet spot. It's approximately around our tailbone and our sacrum, the base of the spine. Good. When you get it there, you'll know it because you're opening up that small of the low back. And with our arms, let's find those cactus arms again. Good, let's go ahead and take 10 of the finest Infinity 5 breaths. Okay, admittedly, I did lose count, but I think that's about 10 or 11, maybe 9, I don't know. Anyways, let's go ahead, take that block out from underneath, slowly peel that spine back down. Push the low back into the floor, knees to chest, chin to chest. I love lots of self hugs, mostly because I get a low back, the sore low back all the time. So it really helps there. All right, let's go ahead. We're gonna find our most important pose of all for 5 minutes. I just want you to lay here. Don't check your device. Don't look at that Apple Watch device thingy. Don't look at your phone. Just exist in time and space without doing anything. It's okay. If you fall asleep, I'll get us all up. Let's add movement, fingers and toes, wrists and ankles, elbows and knees. Okay, let's roll to the right side of our bodies. Good. With that left hand and that right hand, we're pushing up using muscles, not momentum. We're coming into our seats. With the back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked. May our way, oh, sorry, I jumped ahead. Okay, left hand to our heart, right hand on our left hand. May we understand the strength of our self that's inside. Namaste. All right, see you in week 2, I hope.